In the world of serious acting, there's one name that stands above all the rest: Meryl Streep. For over 50 years, she's transformed herself again and again, blurring the line between character and reality. To work with her is considered an honor, but also a challenge. Because Meryl doesn't just act, she inhabits. And if you're not bringing your full self to the performance, she'll know. And she won't pretend otherwise. This isn't a tabloid story. This is about craft, passion, and what happens when the greatest actor of our time comes face to face with someone she simply can't work with. These are the 6 actors Meryl Streep reportedly clashed with the most. Dustin Hoffman, method gone too far. Their film Kramer versus Kramer won both of them Oscars. But off-screen, it was tense. Very tense. Meryl came to the set prepared, focused, fully immersed in her role. Dustin Hoffman, on the other hand, believed in provoking real emotion, even if it meant crossing boundaries. At one point, he slapped her before take, without warning. He justified it as method acting. But to Meryl, it was unprofessional and deeply disrespectful. She was grieving the recent loss of her partner, John Cazale, during filming. And Hoffman, she felt, had no empathy for that. Yes, the film was a masterpiece, but the experience left a scar. Years later, she said the work was professionally valuable, but personally difficult. That's Meryl's polite way of saying, never again. Kevin Kline, Sophie's Cold War. In Sophie's Choice, the performances were unforgettable. But behind the scenes, Meryl and Kevin Kline were not on the same page. She dove deep into research, learning Polish, reading Holocaust survivor accounts, understanding the pain of her character down to the bone. Kevin Kline, talented as he is, approached his role more casually. He mocked her preparation at times, calling it too intellectual, even mechanical. To Meryl, that wasn't just insulting. It was an attack on the heart of her process. They finished the film professionally, but there was no warmth left between them. No future collaborations. No praise for Meryl in later years. That silence says everything. Jack Nicholson, the one she refused. Hollywood tried more than once to pair them, Jack Nicholson and Meryl Streep. But every time, Meryl said no. Why? Because Jack wasn't an actor to her. He was a star. He didn't lose himself in roles. He was Jack Nicholson, no matter the film. Meryl believed acting was sacred, about transformation, empathy, disappearing into a role. Jack, he called method acting a bunch of self-important nonsense. They respected each other's fame, but artistically, they lived on opposite planets. They never made a movie together. Not once. And at this point, they never will. Alec Baldwin, it's complicated, and not in a good way. On screen, it's complicated looked like lighthearted fun. But off-screen, the chemistry was shaky at best. Meryl prepared every line, every beat. Alec Baldwin, he improvised. A lot. Sometimes entire scenes. To Meryl, comedy wasn't about cracking jokes. It was about truth. Emotional rhythm. Honesty. But Baldwin treated the set like Saturday Night Live. Funny, yes, but chaotic. She reportedly asked for extra rehearsal time just to regain her balance after his constant changes. They finished the film. They smiled for the press. But behind the scenes, Meryl had made up her mind. Never again. Jeremy Irons, when brilliance clashes. You'd think two classically trained, deeply intellectual actors would thrive together. But sometimes brilliance just doesn't sync. When Meryl worked with Jeremy Irons, their visions were completely different. Irons was cold precision, elegant, formal. Meryl? Emotional, instinctual, intimate. At one point, Irons reportedly told her that her dialect work was too showy. He believed she was acting for technique, not for truth. To Meryl, that was betrayal. She didn't act for applause. She acted for meaning. They completed the project. but there was tension, and they never collaborated again. Gwyneth Paltrow, the silent disdain. There were no fights, no screaming matches, just an unmistakable, quiet distance. Meryl and Gwyneth represent different generations and different values. Meryl built her career on hard work, depth, and transformation. Gwyneth? Some believe she rose on charm, style, and family connections. When Gwyneth won the Oscar for Shakespeare in Love, over a year when Meryl gave a much deeper, more layered performance, Meryl said nothing. No congratulations. No kind words. To this day, she's never worked with Gwyneth, never complimented her publicly, never acknowledged her acting with any real praise. In Hollywood, silence like that, that's louder than any insult. In the world of acting, greatness isn't just about talent. It's about discipline, respect, and the courage to demand the best from yourself and everyone around you. Meryl Streep never lowered her standards. And if you couldn't rise to meet them, she didn't yell. She didn't fight. She just moved on and left you behind. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the artistic conflicts behind the curtain, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a story. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.